So, Christmas, the most wonderful time of the year, as they say. The lights, the decorations, no school, that's great, man. Family traditions, the music that starts the day after Thanksgiving and plays all day, every day. Right on until Christmas. It's the house that Mariah Carey built, right? So we have all these things that come together to create what we know as that Christmas magic, that Christmas spirit. And so for myself in my household, for the majority of my childhood, the Christmas magic was alive and well. One really good Christmas that I can recall, I was age 11. And so it's Christmas Eve. Our family comes over to our house. My mom's the best cook in the family, so wherever we are, that's where they're coming. And so we gather, listen to music, play games, eat, we get full, and everybody gets to open just one gift. So I was right until maybe 13 years old, so I was a huge wrestling fan, right? And so that year, when I was 11, a new wrestling video game that just came out. It was WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. And so that's my one gift to open. My mom brings it to me, I rip that packaging off, and one of my older brothers and I, we pop into the PlayStation 2, and yeah, we pretty much stayed up all night. We pretty much played until we just couldn't quite keep our eyes open anymore. And so we turn off the PlayStation 2 and we hop in bed, try to get some sleep, but it's that Christmas excitement, it's something special. And so I awake a few hours later to find that I am literally drowning in a sea of gifts. My mom decided that instead of us, waking up and going out to the living room to the tree, that, just dump all our gifts on us and our sleep. And it was great. I enjoyed it. I woke up and stayed in bed for a while, just kind of tinkering with all my things, seeing what I got, and it was great. It was great. Fabulous Christmas. And going back to school, that following year, early January, seeing all my friends were excited. What'd you get for Christmas? What'd you get for Christmas? Well, I got this. Well, I got this. Just, you've been there. You've been there. And so after age 11, the Christmas magic for me and my household began to wane a bit, until eventually it pretty much became non-existent. And there were two major attributing factors to that. The first was being that we had moved away from our hometown of Lima, Ohio, here to Dayton, Ohio. And so while we tried our best to find our footing here, we just weren't really taking trips back to visit family as much. And the second major contributing factor was that when I was age 11, my father had actually found himself on the wrong side of the law. So for the next 5.5 years, he would not be with us. And so then it was up to my mom, with our own income, to do our best for our 4 sons. And so the trees went away, the decorations went away, the gifts became less and less. And while it's not all about the gifts, nobody wants to go back to school that following year and express to their friends that, I didn't get this year. Yeah, it was okay. Well, everybody else is still having that Christmas hangover. So fast forward to age 15, it's early December. My mother comes to my brothers and I, and she informs us that the transmission had just went out in her car. And that pretty much closed the door completely on Christmas that year. And to my mother, my brothers and I, we took it on the chin. We're like, no, it's okay, Mom. We understand. It's just one day. And it's always tax season, right? It's not a good time of the year. But on the inside, I was frustrated. I was upset, as any, child would be. I just needed to vent to somebody. And so that next day at lunch at school, I brought my best friend, Billy. So Billy, it's funny, we're actually still really good friends to this day. But upon moving to Dayton, he was one of the very first friends that I had made. He was a very popular guy. He was very funny, very charismatic. We both are visual artists, but whereas I more so draw and paint, he was a sculptor. You give him some clay and he can, his mind kind of goes crazy. And we're actually both Gemini, so I think that kind of allowed for us to always kind of be in the same way. We'll talk to Billy. Billy, okay, let me get this off my chest. And so lunch about Billy, and we go, Billy, what's up, man? Can I tell you something? He's like, yeah, sure, Mom, what's up? What's up, bro? Good. I'm just like, man, Christmas this year. He's like, what are you talking about? And Mom, she's like, some car trouble. It's gonna cost some crazy money. And so, yeah, it's Christmas. It's just, he expressed his concern for his friend. Which, I'm sorry to hear that, man. But, it's okay, it'll be all right. If you ever need to talk, man, you know where it comes. It's gonna be all right. We'll get through it. I felt a little better, but still, Christmas kind of sucks, right? So, fast forward to the last week of school before Christmas break. Billy comes to me during the middle of the week and he's like, yo, Jamaal, I know you're probably gonna go visit your family for Christmas break, but you should definitely come hang out one last time before you leave. Let's hang out on Friday after school. I didn't really want to go, but it's my guy, my brother. So I'm like, you know what? Sure. It's a very good month. You know what? Yeah, we'll hang out Friday after school. So Friday comes, school lets out. Billy's dad pulls up in his white Ford Mustang. It's just a little too cold to let the top down, but still a snazzy car nonetheless. And so we pull up to Billy's house, and we enter the front door. We go upstairs to his room, as we've done so many times before. And we go into Billy's room. And so over to your left, he has his full-size bed. Not too far from the bed, he has this little wooden desk where he would do his homework and tinker with some small clay models he was working on. He's a huge Bengals fan, so his little Chad Johnson posters all over the wall. He took it a little hard this year, but Bengals are only up, so we'll get him next year. But to the far right, in the corner of Billy's room, was an old, raggedy wooden chair. And sitting in this chair was a stack of about 5 or 6 gifts. And so I see this chair, I see these gifts, and I look at Billy. And Billy's pointing to the chair, and he says, these are for you, brother. Merry Christmas. I can't recall too many moments in my life where I've been left speechless, but that was definitely one of them. So then Billy proceeds to inform me that what he had actually done was, after hearing my news, he had went to a group of our close friends and expressed to them what I was going through. And so they all came together and threw money in for Billy to go and give me some of this for Christmas. You know what I liked. We're pretty tight. And so there were the gifts, and then there was also a card, and inside that card were signatures of all my friends who had pitched in. And a quick sidebar, so one of those gifts that he got me was a belt. I'm actually wearing that belt right now. And I know what you're thinking, yes, I have bought more belts. But I can't quite find it in my heart to let go of this belt because it represents a time in my life where, the people that really care for me, showed up when I needed it most. And when I think about that moment, when I think about Billy, I just really hope that one day I'm able to show up for him in a similar fashion. That's something that's been on my heart since I was 15 years old. Slowly cruising my way into 30, so it's been a little while. But maybe in that moment, this act of kindness, this act of thoughtfulness was more than enough to restore the magic of Christmas within me. Thank you.